welcome back to the Hobby Lodge. So it's about time I did a pickups video because I haven't done one for quite some time, and I've amassed a good chunk of stuff and stuff that I've forgotten that I picked up and I've stuck in the collection. So I need to be more disciplined about keeping it to one side and then get it actually showing it and then putting it back in the collection. But sometimes I get too excited and I pick stuff up and I want to play it immediately. So hey, it's one of those things. But anyway, let's I'll kick off. We'll go through some stuff. There's everything from 8-bit, because I'm super excited about my Commodore 64, which is there it is over there. It's on the table still. Absolutely blimmin' love it. So there's some 8-bit right up to PS5, because I thought it was about time I gave the PS5 some love. So I want to try out some of the games that have come out on that recently. So yeah, let's crack on. There's some themes to bits. So we'll do the random stuff first, and then we'll go into the more sort of categorized stuff. So the first up is on the N64, actually, and it is Blast Corps. Now, the only reason I picked this up, I've never played it before, but I had a number of friends, most notably Scott Sega Zombie, was talking about it as being a really great N64 game. Now, for me, the N64 hasn't aged particularly well. I don't really have much nostalgia for it anyway. But when someone says to you, sorry, I've got a bit of a froggy throat. When someone says to you, it's an absolute brilliant game, it's worth checking out, right? So yeah, and it wasn't much money. I think it's like £8 as a loose cart, so very cheap to pick up, and therefore I will definitely take a look at it. But yeah, Blast Corps on the N64. Next up was something I actually got from Lee Retro Chef's Swap Shop. So if you don't know what that is, Lee Retro Chef, so Retro Chef on YouTube. I'll put links to everyone's channels below. You should go and check them out. But the Retro Chef runs a swap shop every month where a bunch of YouTubers get together. They show off their doubles or the stuff that they want to sell because they want to buy new stuff in their collection. And you can go on there and you can buy it. So I got this from the Nerdy Geezer, and I shall put his channel below as well. So this is Robocop versus Terminator. Really cool Mega Drive game. I played it. I'm not very good at it, but the graphics are super slick. The sound is great. It really feels well put together as a game. And yeah, you're the Robocop taking out Terminators. What more could you ask for? So yeah, Robocop versus Terminator on the Mega Drive. Right, we're going to jump into some PC stuff. So I've been on a bit of a kick with the PC, as you know. I did a video a while ago, maybe a little peer up here somewhere, for the building a Windows XP PC for that kind of 1998 to 2008 era of gaming. I think it's a bit of a golden era for the PC. I think there's some fantastic games out there that ran amazingly well and were better than some of the, well, in most cases, better than the console equivalents because of resolution and frame rate and graphic textures and all this sort of stuff that you could do on PC. So I recently built that PC and now I'm picking up some games for it. And what I wanted to get was a lot of the point and clicks. I was a big into point and click games back in the day. So I wanted to build up that collection of point and click games. And again, I know you can play these other ways. Steam, GOG, and all that sort of stuff. In fact, I have some of them on there, but I also wanted to have them physically because that's who we are as game collectors. So the first up is the Monkey Island Bounty Pack, which has 3 Monkey Island games on it. The first one, second, and the third one. After that, I think they get a bit loosey-goosey. But yeah, so can't wait to play that. Next up was another classic. I don't know how many people played this one, but I think I prefer this to Monkey Island, which is probably quite controversial. And that's just because I played this one more as a kid. So this is Simon the Sorcerer. So Simon the Sorcerer 1 and 2. There are other Simon the Sorcerer games. Again, they get a bit useless. Another classic is the Broken Sword series. So this is Broken Sword 1, 2, and 3. Again, there are games that come after, but again, it gets a bit, for me, not for my taste, but the original Broken Swords, the original Simon the Sorcerers, the original Monkey Islands, I think are amazing point and click adventures, and I've got others already in the collection. So yeah. And then just an Evercade cartridge. This is one I've been trying to get hold of. It seems a bit rare nowadays, and it's number 17. It's the Indie Heroes. It seems to be the one that sort of comes in stock and goes out of stock very quickly. So you have to jump if you want it. I don't know what I'm doing with the Evercade. Am I going to collect them all? Am I going to keep it? Are there better ways to play these games? I'm a bit all over the place with it. So I have it. I'm buying the cartridges for it, but maybe potentially something that leaves the collection one day. I have the VS as well, but we haven't used it an awful lot. The handheld I think is quite cool, but yeah, there's a million ways to play these types of games, right? But it's nice that in this day and age there is still a console out there with physical cartridges and doing its thing. Right, next up, I decided to get some stuff for the PS5. The PS5, as you can see, is on the wall behind me. My son plays it a fair bit, but we don't really play on it much. I have a few games, like the Demon Souls game, like the Ratchet and Clank game, which is actually very, very good. It really shows off what the PS5 can do, especially with the haptic controls within the new controller. But I haven't done much else with it. So I saw some games that are up for cheap on the PS5. Some of them I know are available on the PS4 as well. In fact, I think maybe all of them are. But, you know, I wanted to see what this PS5 could do a little bit. So the first one up was I don't have a fighting game on the PS5, so I wanted to get a fighting game. So I picked up Mortal Kombat Ultimate. I then picked up, I've not really played many Yakuza games, but I like that sort of style, the sort of open world, run around, do what you like, have huge fights. I'm trying to remember, there was a game that was a bit like Grand Theft Auto, but set in Asia. The name will come to me in a minute, but I can't think of it right now. But I actually really like that game. So yeah, this is Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is highly recommended by many people. And then I wanted to get like an RPG to get stuck into, and this one came up as probably one of the best RPGs of 2021. So yeah, I figured I would check it out as well. There's many people that have done reviews on it and gave it really high scores, and yeah, it was on offer again. So we've got Tales of Arise. And it looks good. It looks like a good meaty, chunky RPG to get into and play. So yes. I then picked up a couple of Switch games. This one was purely so that I could play Mega Drive Sega Classics on the Switch. It's out on every system I know, possibly, but it is just the Mega Drive Classics on the Nintendo Switch. Just a great one to have, so you can just chuck it in and play some quick fire games. Bit of Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and all of that. So nothing special, but I think one to have in the case when you're out and about, like if I'm traveling or something. It'd be nice to fire up some old games. And then I'm also loving all of the sort of pixel art games on the Switch. There are a myriad of them. So I've been playing a whole bunch of those, and one that I sort of have digitally and wanted to sort of get as well was Hunt Down. This is a really cool run and gun game. Highly recommend it. It's the graphics on the back. There's a lot of these games now on the Switch, is kind of pixel art games, but they are really, really good. So yeah, and actually, for once, the actual cartridge isn't in there because it's actually in the Switch. But they give you, they've started to put stuff in the cases. Normally you open up these cases and there's nothing in there. It's not a limited run game, is it? No, it's not. So I was wondering there for a second. I've never actually, I actually have bought some stuff from limited run. If you have as well, let me know your experience below, because I haven't received it yet and it's been a few weeks. So I'm not panicking because I think it does take a little while to come. But anyone else had good, bad experiences with limited run? But yeah, inside here you get a little set of badges. And there's actually a manual. Most Switch games I've ever bought, you open up the case and all you get in there is the cartridge, and that's it. They're empty inside. So it's nice to see if they are going to be just putting little things, just a little thing, nothing major. It doesn't have to be anything special, but it's nice to open the case and not just have a cartridge just looking at you blankly. I've even heard of some games where you get the case and inside is just a code for you to go and download it from the shop. So yeah, that's the sort of random pile. Next we'll go back in time. We'll go back to the 8-bit era and we'll show a bunch of stuff that I've gone a bit crazy with for the C64. So I did another video, maybe it'll appear on the screen hopefully, about the Commodore 64, which I am genuinely just blown away by every time I load it up. So I went looking for various tapes and that for me to have on that console. And of course I found a whole bunch, and of course once I started getting them I couldn't stop and literally had to strain myself because a million packages turn up, and yeah, people go, what the hell are you doing? This is the sort of stuff I've been picking up. I did get a bunch of stuff with the actual the Commodore 64 is definitely a pickup, and Retrobait, put his channel down below. He helped me. He hooked me up. He had one that he was refurbing and making look great. And obviously we did a deal, and I got it. And he sent me a bunch of stuff with it. So lots of tapes. But I won't go through all of those because they are with the console with with the micro itself. Yeah, but he's an absolute diamond. Thank you, and he's been super helpful with it. In fact, everyone in the community has, so it's been really cool. So I'll go through the stuff I've picked up after, right? And some of it is original Commodore 64 stuff, and some of it is new homebrew, which is a thing I didn't even know really much about, and now that I've discovered it, it's also very, very cool. So we picked up first Dragon Ninja, so Bad Dudes versus the Dragon Ninja as it was later known, but on the C64 it was just called Dragon Ninja. Great game, great arcade game that me and my sons have actually completed it, and it's a lot easier when you've got infinite credits, that's for sure. But yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant game. Power Drift, a nice little racing game. I'll try and whiz through these because I know this is not for everybody. Untouchables, not only a great movie, but also a nice little sort of run and gun arcade game as well. Renegade, struggled with this one. Found it actually really difficult to control. It is a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but I just found it really difficult to actually control it. So, and I've not heard great things about it. It's not one I have much nostalgic memory for. But I just found it really difficult to control, and maybe it's something on my side. Unlike this one, which is an absolute stone cold classic, Tubing. So Tubing on the C64, which is basically you and a mate possibly, going down a crazy river, picking up power-ups, dodging crocodiles and rocks, and picking up beach balls, and trying to go through gates to score points as quick as you possibly can. And it's a really simple game, but my gosh, is it like replayable and fun. Of course, Batman on the C64, great game. Not much more I can say about that, really. APB, this is one I have a lot of memories for. Playing APB is really great. You essentially are a policeman in his car, and you're going out, you're looking for criminals. It will tell you you're looking for someone who's littering, and it will show you what their car looks like, and you go out and find as many of those as you can, and pull them over and collect them, and then get back to the station before you run out of time, and try and keep a good score. That's a really cool game. I then picked up some of these kind of multi-tape ones. So this is They Sold a Million series, which I think Retrobait said there's 4 of them, and I have 2 of them now. So this has got Rambo, Ghostbusters, which of course is another absolute classic, Kung Fu, and Fighter Pilot. The Ghostbusters game is brilliant, and the music in it, when you fire the tape up, my goodness, the music is fantastic. Another one in the I Sold a Million is this one here. And most notably on that would be Set Willie, which is just an absolute bonkers game. I just remember playing it so much. The other ones I don't have too much. Beachhead, I think I haven't fired that up yet, so I need to. But it rings a bell, and it's going to be one of those ones where I fire it up and probably go, "Oh man, I can't believe it!" Yeah, I used to play the hell out of this. But Jet Set Willie, obviously, huge game that I used to play a lot. And then this one as well, which is another game I played an awful lot. Trailblazer. So again, really simple. You're essentially controlling a ball, and you're trying to go forward as fast as possible. But then there's obstacles. The ground is made up of different coloured squares. Each of those squares means something. One could bounce you backwards. One could slow you down. All sorts of things. And I quickly ran out of things it could do then, but there are loads. Speed you up and all sorts of stuff. And then you have a limited number of jumps, so you can't just go jumping over everything. You've only got, I think, 5 or 6 jumps you can use, and you want to get across the course as quickly as possible. And it's really cool. And you can do 2-player as well. Right, so that was the sort of original Commodore 64. So as you can see, bunch of stuff. With that collection and the stuff I have over on the table there, I already have a pretty good selection of original Commodore 64 games. And then there is the homebrew stuff. So this is people that are writing video games for a 30-40-year-old system and doing a cracking job with it. And not only that, putting the love and care into having a case, having an inlay, having the actual physical tape and all of these things. So I'll run through these as well. I've played some of these, so I'll try and describe them as best I can. Let me have a little sip of drink, because otherwise I'm going to choke through this session. Product placement. So these are all from Cytronics, which is a company that I've become very, just introduced to now. So this is all new to me. So the first one is Dragon Spire. Here we go. And love, I mean, they just look and feel great. I know it's weird that I'm getting excited about tapes, but it is because it's just something you don't do. So even the cases feel quality. The inlays are nice cardboard. The tapes look amazing. They're like high quality with high quality labels on them. Some of them are coloured. There's one I'll show you later which is see-through and all this sorts with like little sparkles and stuff in it. So this one is a proper sort of adventure game. So you've got inventory, you've got different types of movement and attacks, and you're going off on a proper big quest. So it's a proper sort of RPG that I think you've got to sink some time into. So I'm looking forward to doing that. The next one up is Amaze Arcade. Amaze Arcade. It's Arcade Days. And this one's quite a fun one. Bright yellow tape. I like that. I like the style of it. It looks really cool. I love the font and everything about it. So the premises of it is you're in an arcade and you're trying to avoid the town bully and her dog. Might be a cat or dog, can't remember. But you're going around collecting money inside the arcade, and you use that money to buy a token, and then you use that token to play an arcade machine. And it's a Pac-Man clone or a Tetris clone or some sort of shoot 'em up clone. And the idea is you want to beat the high score, because the high score that the bully has set the high score on all the games. So you want to walk around the arcade, avoiding her so she doesn't get you and beat you up. Collect the coins, trade the coins in for tokens, then go and play one of the arcade machines to beat her score. And hopefully, the end of the game is you would have beaten her high score on all of the arcade machines. Town's shoes are out. She's a disgrace. She's been defeated in every game possible, and you are the new town champion. Is basically the game. So yeah, it plays really great. Highly recommend it. I've had a few goes on it already, and it was good fun. Right, next up we've got Age of Heroes, and this is this game here. Really cool art, like really nice. Looks fantastic. I believe it's just a black tape. Yeah, it's a bit more of this one's a bit more of the basic one. It's almost like just a sticker over the top of a tape. It's not as polished as maybe the others, but that doesn't take anything away from the actual game. The actual game is, trying to describe it, almost like Gods or something like that. So it's a side-scrolling, or side-scrolling. It's a side-on platformer where you're the barbarian and you're fighting your way through hordes of monsters, on an adventure. And there's a map you can go to, so you can go to different locations. There's a level up system so that you can get stronger, so you can grind in areas if you want to get your level up and then go and take on some big bad guys. It's done really, really well. So yeah, Age of Heroes on the C64 is well worth a look. Next up we've got Battle Kingdom. There we go, another nice looking tape. Well, I hope you like 8-bit at this point, because luckily there's only 2 more to go. So if this isn't your section, then I thank you for sticking with it. But yeah, another lovely looking tape. And this one is quite a fun little game. So you start off with a sort of a city overview. I think it's being terrorized by a dragon. And there's all sorts of monsters all over the place. So you have to work your way around a city. You see it from the top of the view. You guide your character into like a house or a shop or a courtyard, and then you'll zoom into that area and you'll fight like a top down. You've got a bow and arrow and you shoot the monsters and clear out the room essentially. You have limited arrows, so you can't just go spamming, but as you kill creatures you'll get items and hopefully some more arrows, and then you're going to make your way around the city to clear it out. Now I think after that maybe you battle the dragon, but obviously I haven't gotten that far yet. But it is a cool little game. You can jump in and just play for a little bit. So yeah, definitely if you see it, Battle Kingdom is really, really cool. I do recommend it. It's one of the ones I played and I felt myself I could play that more and more. So yes. Right, another one which looks awesome. This one looks awesome. So this is the Isle of the Cursed Prophet. Again, all Cytronics, all of these, so you can go to their website and check them out if you want. It comes in an awesome coloured case, tape. For those Warhammer fans out there, it's very nurgly. A good Nurgle green. And this one I haven't played too much. It has an amazing intro, like flashback styled intro. For a C64 game, it looks pretty awesome. Like the FMV that sort of guides you into the game. But then it's a top-down RPG, so think Zelda. Right, it's from the top. You're running around and you're collecting items, but I didn't get much more than that. So I stood still for a bit and a bird attacked me and I died. And I was like, right, I need to actually sit down and play this. So this is something I want to jump back into, but it is definitely a game I feel like you've got to chuck some time into it to play it. Right, the last tape, unfortunately, is a tape that currently doesn't work. But I'm just being completely honest. When I got it, I tried it, I played both sides, it didn't work. So I reached out to Cytronics, I told them that that's the case, and without any quibble whatsoever, they're like, no problem at all, sir, we will send you a new tape. So not all the gubbins, not the case and the inlay, just the actual tape, without any question. So I can't quibble with that kind of customer service. So it's a shame I haven't actually played this yet, but it looks really cool, and I have heard the music because it gets as far as that in the game. So this is Nixie Glade Spirit, and it looks like it's a side-scrolling platformer. And yeah, I don't know if I can show you the back there. You can probably just about make it out. The camera's not going to focus on it. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic music. The tape looks awesome. Look at the tape. It's all sparkly. Looks fantastic. Yeah. But it's one of the newest ones. I think this is very much sort of just only released. So Nixie the Glade Spirit, and the music when you fire it up, it sounds fantastic. I think Ginger Hippie Gaming has done a video on it. So again, I'll put his channel in below. I think he may have done a video on it. But the last lot, I don't think I've forgotten anything, but I probably have. The last lot is a new series I'm going to be doing. So as many as you know, the Hobby Lodge is both retro and even just modern video gaming, so all the video game stuff, but also all the miniature stuff, so miniature painting, miniature wargaming, tabletop board gaming and stuff like that. So it got suggested to me that why don't I try and cross the streams, as it were, when Warhammer meets video games. So I thought that was a quite cool idea. So if people are interested in it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at the history of Games Workshop and Warhammer and when they started to release video games. And it turns out it goes right back to the very late 70s. I think maybe 78, 79 on the Spectrum. There was games released, and then I think called Apocalypse was the first game on the Spectrum. And then there's games right up to, obviously, well, there's one release next month, which is Warhammer, what's it called? It's the Total War Warhammer game 3, I think it is, next month. So there's a whole, there is what's that 40 years of Warhammer games for me to look at. So now I do own a bunch of them already, not through because I wanted to do this, but I figured why not start to build the collection a little bit of the Warhammer games through the years. So I have done some of that. So the first up is not old at all. It's fairly new, and it's the Death Watch on PlayStation 4. You can see there. The Death Watch are like the SAS of the 40k universe, or the space, or the Adeptus Astartes Space Marines. They take the best from every faction and turn them into super awesome warriors for the cause, to take on the Xenos filth, the Tyranids, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I don't know too much about the game, but I will definitely be doing a video on it and taking a look at it. The next one up was on the PSP, and it is Warhammer 40,000 Squad Commander. Like I say, I'm not going to go into, because I don't know anything about these at the moment. I will just be doing videos on each of them. So yeah, wait to see those. But yeah, PSP, I love the PSP. The PSP is a great console. It's also really cool because it has the video out as well. So if you want to capture it and you want to play it on screen, it's really easy to do it. Unlike the PS Vita, which doesn't have that, and you have to end up doing some spookiness with a PS TV to do it. But PSP, fantastic video out, so I'll be able to play this and talk about it on the stream. But it's incomplete. Well, sorry, it is complete. It looks in lovely condition, so no problems there whatsoever. Next up was a PS2 game. So this is Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior. There we go. Again, don't know anything about it. It is complete, which is nice. Not that I'm too worried about it, because literally I'm only doing this for the games. But yeah, it looks like a first-person shooter where you are a Tau Fire Warrior. That's nice. That if you're playing from the point of the Tau, that would be quite cool. Yeah, because most of the time you're the Space Marines or you're one of the sort of classics. So it'd be nice to play something other than that. Next up, we have a PC game. So this is the Mark of Chaos, the Gold Edition. So this is kind of a bit like the Total War series, really. It is a strategy game of epic warfare. So it looks very cool. It's not very good in focus. But yeah, so we'll get that one fired up as well and have a look. Next up, we've got this game, which I actually have played. I don't know if maybe there will be a video appear up here too of me playing this game. If I can remember where I put all these points in these videos and remember to put the little cards in. Let's find out. So this is Space Marine on the PS3. So I do actually play this a few weeks ago. So I don't need to do a video on this. So I can just reference this one. But yeah, this is a great sort of Gears of War type game. So cover-based shooter from that third person as a all singing, all dancing Space Marine taking on hordes of orcs. And it actually is a really good game. I highly recommend it. If you see it cheap out there, which I think it is, it's like probably £1 game or something. Pick it up and play it and get to know what it's like to be a Space Marine. Next up, my son will like this one as he's a filthy Skaven player. And this is the Shadow of the Horned Rat on the PlayStation 1. Looks very Warhammer. Like the artwork on this is classic Warhammer. You know. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I was actually this is when I was like, I would like to see this complete, and this one is complete. So there is the manual inside of it. So it looks fantastic again, because it is really nice artwork. It's probably it's slightly coming apart, so I need to be a bit careful with it. But it's nice to have this one in its full bit. So yeah, and it is a sort of strategy RTS type game, real-time strategy game on the PS1, which is I think probably, I don't know how many RTS games there were on the PS1, but I can only imagine. I'm so used to playing RTS games with a mouse and keyboard, but playing an RTS game with a controller, I don't know. That sounds weird, but we'll certainly check it out. And then the last one is Warhammer Dark Omen on the PS1 as well. There we go. That artwork, not so much Warhammer. Like, look at these two side by side. One of those is beautiful. The other one is, so yeah. It is. I mean, it is what it is. It's a Warhammer game, so we will be reviewing it. But I can tell you now that doesn't look like Warhammer to me. But again, on the back, it does look like, apart from the FMV video at the top there, that it is another sort of top-down strategy type game. Yeah. So, and and that doesn't surprise me. Warhammer is a lot about commanding big armies, and whether it be in a fantasy setting or a futuristic setting, filling a table behind, the massive table I've got behind me, filling that with giant armies, throwing hundreds of dice at each other and blowing all of your stuff up. So it doesn't surprise me that most of the games are also that, or they tend to focus in on a singular hero and follow that story. But yes, that's it. So that is the pickups for recently. I can't think that I've missed anything off. I've definitely picked up. I don't think I'll do it in this video, but I also pick up some hobby stuff as well. So, but I think it'd be too weird to have hobby mixed in with video gaming, unless you guys think it's differently. If you'd like to see the stuff that I pick up in the other side of my hobby, let me know in the comments below, and I will add it in. We'll kind of mix it in so it's in there as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you got this far, let me know of anything you've seen that you want to know more of. Let me know if the Warhammer series is a good idea or a terrible idea. Let me know if you want to see more on the C64. And that's it. I much appreciate you watching. If you can give us a like, that would be amazing. If you fancy hitting the subscribe button, that would also be really cool. The channel's doing well, in my opinion, and that's really good. But, you know, we'll get there. We'll keep plugging away. Some live stream stuff if you want to watch it over on both Twitch and YouTube. You can go to the live stream section on this and you'll find the live streams we do of the miniature painting stuff. But yeah, otherwise there'll be videos throughout the week. I need to do a Master System challenge this weekend, so I'll do that. And yeah, awesome. Right, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you soon, all right? Bye-bye!